Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
Now we begin the English language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Here is a mixed cover. Third General Kim Il-sung. China prison of war covers South General Kim Jong-un. You're listening to Voice of Korea News Now. Respected Kim Jong-un, First Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, First Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army, received the message of greetings from Raul Castro, President of the State Council and President of the Council of Ministers of the Republic of Cuba on the 24th. The message extended warm congratulations and personal greetings to respected Kim Jong-un on his re-election as first chairman of the National Defense Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Respected Kim Jong-un's revolutionary activities were reported abroad on the 22nd and the 23rd. The China News Service, the Chinese Hong Kong Takunpa, Hong Kong Phoenix Satellite Television and Internet homepages, Northeast News Network and Julian Network, and the Russian intelligence reported that respected Kim Jong-un acted from the January 8th fishery station of the Korean People's Army before commissioning. The China News Service ran the news of his guidance of the flight training of the Unit 188 of the Air and Anti-Aircraft Force of the Korean People's Army, honored with the title of Ultimate-led 7th Regiment. The same news was also reported by the Chinese reference news, Hong Kong Takunpa, Hong Kong Phoenix Satellite Television, and websites Northeast Network and Northeast News Network, the Russian intelligence newspaper Internet newspaper Internet news Rosbat, Internet magazine Novaya Politika, and Internet homepage Amur Brooks, and the Cambodian newspaper Rasmai Cambodia. The Lao News Agency and the Indonesian Berita Satu Television reported the news of the first meeting of airpersons of the Korean People's Army, grandly held under the guidance of respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un, and the website of the Brazilian Committee for Solidarity with the DPRK blogged the news of its visit to the Songdo-won International Children's Camp before commissioning. The Chinese and Brazilian websites, Lao News Agency, and Indonesian television carried photographs and motion pictures of respected Marshal Kim Jong-un in his revolutionary activities. Recently, the Khabarovsk territory publishing house in Russia published in booklet respected Kim Jong-un's famous work, "The Great Kim Il-sung is the eternal leader of our party and our people." And the new Yugoslav Communist Party of the Soviet blogged the work together with a smiling portrait of President Kim Il-sung. Lectures, roundtable talks, and film shows recently took place in Russia, Mongolia, Ethiopia, Guinea, Angola, and the Czech Republic, and photo exhibition in Nigeria on the occasions of the Day of the Sun, birth anniversary of the great Kim Il-sung, and the 82nd anniversary of the heroic Korean People's Army. Displayed at the venue of the photo exhibition were photos dealing with the exploits performed under the Sundan-based leadership of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il and respected Kim Jong-un, and photos introducing the DPRK. DPRK films including Fireworks of a Thriving Nation and Korean People's Army Feel Like Ranks were screened at the film shows. Present at the events were personages of different sections and people of those countries. The British Association for the Study of the Sundan Policy and the British Group for the Study of the Turkey Idea, the Swiss Korean Committee and the Swiss Group for the Study of the Turkey Idea recently issued joint statements on the occasion of the 82nd anniversary of the heroic Korean People's Army. The joint statement said the 82-year-long history of the struggle of the Korean People's Army was a brilliant history, embroidered with victories in the confrontations with hostile forces including the European imperialists under the Sundan-based revolutionary leadership of great generalismos Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. They stressed that the Korean People's Army, led by respected Marshal Kim Jong-un, will win only victory and glory in the future too. Yuri Trutnev, Deputy Prime Minister and Presidential Envoy to the farthest Federal District of the Russian Federation, and his party visited the Princess and Palace of the Sun and paid homage to the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on Tuesday. They paid noble tribute to their full-length statues. They entered the halls of immortality where Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il are laid in peace and made vows. The guests attentively looked round the room, taking the decorations awarded to generalismos Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, and cars, electric car, ship, and wagons used by them during the field guidance and 14 tour till the last days of their lives. The Deputy Prime Minister and Presidential Envoy to the farthest Federal District wrote in the visitor's book that Kim Il-sung, founder and president of the DPRK, and Kim Jong-il, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, left great traces in the history of friendly and cooperative relations between the two countries of Russia and Korea. A whole visiting group of Koreans in Japan headed by Kim Sang-soo laid bouquets before the bronze statues of the great leaders President Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on Mansu Hill and paid respect to them upon their arrival in Pyongyang by air on the 28th. It is 13 years after the great leader Kim Jong-il gave field guidance to the then Pyongyang Senior Secondary School No. 1 on April 28, 1973 or 1984. Over the past 30 years, Pyongyang Secondary School No. 1 received the Order of Kim Il-sung and congratulatory messages of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea and won first Red Flag of Honor. Many teachers were awarded the title of Labor Hero, which prizes bearing the name of the great leader Kim Il-sung and commendations of great generalismos Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. The school produced more than 80 awardees of Kim Il-sung Youth Honor Prize, Kim Il-sung Children Honor Prize, Kim Jong-il Youth Honor Prize, and Kim Jong-il Children Honor Prize, and more than 70 holders of academic degrees and titles. Over 440 students became winners of the July 15th Honor Student Prize, and many students won special places and first places at national contests. Students of the school bagged 13 gold medals, 22 silver medals, and 9 bronze medals at a number of international mathematics Olympiads. Tunisia Premier of the Cabinet of the DPRK met and had a talk with Yuri Trutnev, Deputy Prime Minister and Presidential Envoy to the farthest federal district of the Russian Federation and its party that paid a courteous call on him at the Monthly Assembly Hall in Pyongyang Tuesday. Present on the occasion were Minister of Foreign Trade Ri Yong-nam, Vice Foreign Minister Kung So-gun, and Russian Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to Korea Alexander Simonin. Yang Jin-suk, Vice President of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK, met and had a talk with Urugu Erdana, Chairman of the World Archery Federation, who paid a courteous call on him at the Monthly Assembly Hall in Pyongyang on Tuesday. The Chairman of the Federation arrived in Pyongyang by air on Monday. Talks were held between Ro Do-sul, Vice Premier of the Cabinet of the DPRK, and Yuri Trutnev, Deputy Prime Minister and Presidential Envoy to the farthest federal district of the Russian Federation at the Monthly Assembly Hall in Pyongyang on Monday. Present there on the DPRK side were Ri Yong-nam, Minister of Foreign Trade, Kung So-gun, Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, Im Chon-il, Consul General of the DPRK in Nakotka, Russian Federation, and officials concerned. And on the Russian side, the Presidential Envoy and his party, Alexander Simonin, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Russian Federation to DPRK and its embassy staff members. Earlier, tete-a-tete talks were held between Vice Premier Ro Do-sul and Deputy Prime Minister Yuri Trutnev. An agreement on trade and economic cooperation between the Ministry of Foreign Trade of the DPRK and more regional administration of the Russian Federation was signed at the Monthly Assembly Hall that day. Ri Yong-nam, Minister of Foreign Trade of the DPRK, and Oleg Kozhemyako, Governor of the Amur region, signed the agreement. On the other hand, a document on cooperation in railway transportation was signed between the Ministry of Railways of the DPRK and the Mostovik Science and Production Complex of Russia. The DPRK government gave a reception at the Monthly Assembly Hall in Pyongyang on the 28th in honor of the visiting Deputy Prime Minister and Presidential Envoy to the farthest federal district of the Russian Federation and its party. Invited there were Yuri Trutnev, Deputy Prime Minister and Presidential Envoy to the farthest federal district of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Mikloshevsky, Administrator of the Maritime Territory, Oleg Kozhemyako, Governor of the Amur region, Vyacheslav Foster, Administrator of the Khabarovsk Territory, and others, and Alexander Simonin, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Russian Federation to the DPRK and its embassy staff members. Present there were officials concerned. The government of the Russian Federation donated fire engines to the DPRK. Donation ceremony was held in Pyongyang on Monday. Present there were Ro Do-sul, Vice Premier of the DPRK, officials concerned, and firemen. Also present there were Yuri Trutnev, Deputy Prime Minister and Presidential Envoy to the farthest federal district of the Russian Federation and his party on a visit to the DPRK, and Alexander Simonin, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Russia to the DPRK and his embassy staff members. At the ceremonies, people expressed the belief that the fire engines associated with the warm sincerity and friendly feelings of the Russian people would play a great role in ensuring security of the Korean people. Then a donation document was conveyed. Yuri Trutnev, Deputy Prime Minister and Presidential Envoy to the farthest federal district of the Russian Federation and his party, laid a wreath at the Liberation Tower in Pyongyang on Tuesday. Present there were officials concerned, Alexander Simonin, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Russian Federation to the DPRK and its embassy staff members. Guards of honor of the Korean People's Army were standing there. The wreath in the name of the Presidential Envoy of the Russian Federation was laid amid a whistling music. The participants observed a moment of silence in memory of fallen soldiers of the Soviet Army. Then they looked round the Liberation Tower. The General Association of Koreans in China issued a statement on April the 24th denouncing the anti-reunification movement of Park Geun-hye and the group who have brought the inter-Korean relations to catastrophe. The statement criticized that Park Geun-hye negating even the three principles of national reunification, that is, independence, peaceful reunification, and great national unity, is calling for unification and the liberal democratic system with the backing of outside forces, not for independent and peaceful reunification based on national unity. The Solidarity for Democracy, People's Life, Peaceful Reunification and Sovereignty of South Korea released a commentary on April the 24th denouncing the Park Geun-hye regime for evading the responsibility and persistently blaming others concerning the sinking of the passenger ship Sewol. The South Korean Council of Organizations for Proper Settlement of the Past, made up of civic and public organizations, including the Solidarity Meeting of Organizations to honor memory of national and democratic martyrs and victims, held a press conference in front of the U.S. Embassy in Seoul on the 25th and made public an open letter addressed to the U.S. President, according to the South Korean internet newspaper Pyongyang News. The letter denounced that massacres of civilians committed during the post-Korean War are war crimes perpetrated in an organized, planned, and detailed way, and noted that the United States must disclose the truth behind the mass killings of civilians. After the press conference, the organization handed the letter to the U.S. Embassy. The Russian website and Vietnamese newspaper recently introduced the Masunian Ski Resort and the Medium Riding Club in the DPRK. The Russian Khabarovsk territorial website, Tabinfo, in an article, gave a detailed account of the Masunian Ski Resort, wonderfully built under the wise leadership of respected Marshal Kim Jong-un, and stressed that the ski resort of world concern is good at present and will be better in the future. The Vietnamese newspaper Nandan carried an article introducing the Masunian Ski Resort and the Medium Riding Club, saying, recently, many facilities for the recreation and cultural life of the people are being built in the DPRK. And that's the end of the news read by Kim Chun-ok. This is Voice of Korea. The Daily News Joseon of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea carried a commentary on Tuesday on the desperate right of the United States to maintain its position of a superpower. According to foreign sources, the commentary said the U.S. Navy plans to load laser guns on the Russia for the first time and conduct different tests in the Persian Gulf. The Pulse, which is being used as an amphibious transport ship, has been selected as a warship to be loaded with a laser gun, and on the basis of the data gathered through the projected maritime test, combat laser weapon will be developed to be loaded on other warships by 2016. Last year, the Missile Defense Bureau under the U.S. Department of Defense canceled the plan to develop laser guns to be loaded on planes promoted for 15 years at the colossal cost of $5 billion because of the excessive budget. But the United States still makes desperate efforts to develop the laser weapon at any cost, changing its carrier from plane into warship. That's because they think if they have a weapon others have not, a weapon with a distinguished capacity, they can realize their ambition for world supremacy and maintain their position of a superpower. It demonstrates once again that the United States is a trigger-happy country, a peace disturber crazy for the realization of the ambition for world supremacy. The United States must see its empty treasury and miserable financial shortage caused by tremendous military spending and put an immediate end to its futility, the commentary of the Daily News Joseon stressed. You've been listening to a commentary on the desperate drive of the United States to maintain its position of a superpower, carried in the Daily News Joseon of the DPRK on Tuesday. This is Voice of Korea. 최신주의 필름 교육된 방송 Our Father.
instrumental music, I think, looking at you. present the song We Know Nobody But You. Though the earth changes, adverse wind blows, only you are in our hearts, sharing our destiny with you to the end. We will remain loyal only to your leadership. Great Kim Jong-un, we know nobody but you. Great Kim Jong-un, we will remain loyal to you.
Will be on orchestral music. Let us hold high the red flag.
now you will appreciate the song we started from scratch, which was created in 1969 or 1980.
ended war gamble against the North. The North-targeted U.S.-South Korea Four Eagle joint nuclear war exercise came to close in South Korea on April the 18th. Concerning it, the South Korean parties are circulating a rumor about possible attacks on the Korean Peninsula. It is the mockery of the Korean nation and the world peace-loving people desirous of peace of the Korean Peninsula and the improvement of inter-Korean relations. The constant escalated tension on the Korean Peninsula is the main tactics of the United States and the South Korean puppets to stifle the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The United States and the South Korean puppets are persisting in uninterrupted mass-targeted joint military exercises, viciously challenging the public demand at home and abroad for detente and peace of the Korean Peninsula. The next Sunday, a joint air combat exercise of the South Korean puppets and the United States is conducted from April 11th. This year's next Sunday is of the largest ever scale. In view of its scale, content, and duration, next Sunday was really a provocative and aggressive war gamble as good as the Four Eagle joint military exercise. Generally, the next Sunday would be staged in May, separated from the Four Eagles. But in order to increase its effect and irritate the DPRK, the United States and the South Korean puppets not only conducted the exercise in April to coincide with the Four Eagles, but also largely extended its duration to 15 days. They also mobilized for the exercise over 100 planes, meaning more than last year. Concerning it, South Korean media in 40 years commented that this year's next Sunday was the largest ever scale exercise and rapid air drill with planes of different types, almost 2 times that of the previous years for much longer duration. Especially, the Warhawks opened the process of the next Sunday exercise to the public, openly blaring that the war exercise was aimed at a preemptive attack on the North. Concerning it, the South Korean public of different circles unanimously denounced the senseless acts of the South Korean authorities as a scheme to intentionally provoke the North and increase military tensions. The Four Eagle joint military exercise came to an end, but the hostile and provocative military actions to do harm to the DPRK with arms continue in South Korea, and they are getting more reckless with each passing day. All effects prove that the United States and the South Korean puppets continue to make desperate efforts to realize their ambition for invasion of the North while increasing the nuclear war crisis with incessant war exercises and military threat and blackmail. It is the present stark reality that as long as the United States and the South Korean puppets do not give up their wicked plan to provoke a war on the North, nobody can expect detente and peace of the Korean Peninsula and the improvement of the inter-Korean relations. The United States and the South Korean puppets are the masterminds that break the inter-Korean relations and bring the situation to catastrophe through continued provocative war moves. The North-targeted joint military exercises have not ended in South Korea. If you are listening to the content of the title, An Ended War Gamble Against the North, this is the Voice of Korea.
Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 13,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz and 13,650 kHz. For Middle East and Northern Africa between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South Americas, between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,733 kHz, 13,760 kHz, and 15,180 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,710 kHz and 15,180 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.